My name's Ange Braun. I'm the Executive Director at Genesis House. I was really lucky as a fresh grad coming out in 1992 with a criminology degree to find work in the field of domestic violence. At that point, I wasn't 100% sure what I was going to do with that degree, especially since I was coming back to Winkler. Of course, the job selection wasn't the same as what it would have been if I'd stayed in a bigger urban setting. So I got home and I saw an ad for the shelter, and I'm like, really? We have a shelter? I had no idea. So I applied for the job and I got through the interview and they hired me. And I'm like, seriously? They hired me? So it was shocking actually, because I was 24, I think was I 24 when I got the job. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not sure. It seemed like a really big job for somebody that was 24. And so I took the job and I learned. They hired 3 people at the same time. And the shelter at that time was smaller than the building we toured through today. It was only a 3-bedroom space and didn't have nearly the security systems. The growth in the time that I've been with the agency since 1992 has been massive as far as security upgrades and whatnot. But really getting that job and starting really as a casual. So really just learning what the job entailed. And the longer I was here and the more I learned, I realized, I think this is it. Like, I think this is the place for me. So it was just, again, luck, I think, that I ended up getting a grant in the children's program. And until I came to the shelter, there hadn't really been anyone working with kids. And so the grant allowed us, as we were part of a pilot project, us and one of the other shelters, to start doing some work with kids and to look at that as could it make a difference? Could we start intervening at a younger age? What would that look like? So again, it was such a gift to be able to be part of, right from the beginning, planning what that children's program looked like and having some personal input into that. And for our area, again, a small rural area, to be able to have that opportunity was an amazing gift for me. I think some of the other gifts over the time that I've worked here, of course, I've worked with lots and lots of amazing people, not only the families, but staff. The job is a difficult job. It doesn't suit everybody. We're a 24-hour service, so things change. Even if the job suited you at one point, it might change if you started having a family or your situation changed. So I've met awesome women working here, learned from them, and I hope they've learned something from me as well. In 2005, I did leave the agency for a period of time, and in 2005, I was able to come back in the role of the executive director. And I came back, and I guess when you were working as a direct service, I hadn't quite realized the difference between that and sitting in the office chair that I was sitting in now, which was way, way different. And that has been a steep learning curve. And I think every single day, I still go home, sometimes with that idea that I can't believe they hired me. They think I can do this job. At the age that I am now, I still have those thoughts every day, because the job is not the same. Every day it's different. Every day you will learn something new, you'll experience something different. But I think it's also part of what's the appeal of the job, because it's not the same. It's different every day. I think the environment that we get to work in here is amazing, and it does draw a lot more personal pieces from you than a regular job might. You really have to become self-aware. You have to grow your confidence to a place that you didn't think possible. And sometimes you might even be a little bit ashamed that you're as confident as you are, because as a Mennonite girl, we're not really taught to toot our own horns, right? Here you have to start doing that, and you have to start being a voice for others. And I think that's part of the appeal as well. You're not only speaking for yourself, but you recognize the value and the worth and the importance of saying some of the things that will make people squirm a little, but you have to say them. Somebody needs to say them. I've been able to learn so much from the families that have come through our doors, the different cultures, the different situations, the complex situations, the situations that have become more complex over time. The gift of being able to walk alongside them and having that trust and their faith in you to be able to be a bit of a guide and to help navigate things that are really scary. And working with a team like the team we have here makes that possible. It really does make that possible. I think the biggest thing, that a trait that every staff person that's successful in their job here, is that they have to have hope. They have to believe that things can be different. And so they have to hope that the system can change, that would better meet the needs for the women that we see. They have to hope that when we get the kids in shelter, that their lives will look different than the lives their mom and dad led. We have to believe that at some point there will be programs out there, intervention programs for men, which is something that's missing really in a big way right now. We're addressing women and children, which is our really strict mandate for us, but we completely recognize that without intervention programs for men, we'll continue to have jobs for a long time to come. So we have to believe, and we have to hope, and we have to know that things can be different, and community can make that happen. Community speaking up, community demanding that there be supports put in place for the whole family, not just for the women and children, but everyone in that family going forward. We can do it. We believe we can. We know we can.